Day. Remember that movie with Bill
Yes.
Murray? It's like
Yes.
living Groundhog Day in a game, and it's like, okay, I want to relive the same spot. I want to move on. So
So,
yeah, poor
yeah.
EA.
No, I don't. Not poor
Boo,
EA.
boo hoo.
All right. Oh, moving on. We got a rumor, and
Ooh,
this
yeah.
is the Killer Instinct developer is supposedly now working on a futuristic shooter. So Double Helix recently launched, like I said, the Xbox One exclusive Killer Instinct, and is currently at work on a Strider revival. Yet, thanks to some online resume snooping, it appears that the studio also has a futuristic action game in the works. Earlier this month, OXM discovered an image in the CG Society page, which is the one that we're showing on screen right now, um, page of Double Helix artist James Pack. That image is partially shown in this, like I said, that's what we're showing. And as you can see, it doesn't look like anything from Killer Instinct. It could be Strider asset, though further evidence seems to negate that possibility. Alan Will describes himself as a senior visual artist at Double Helix on his LinkedIn page. The upcoming Strider reboot is listed in his credits, though directly below that we see unannounced action shooter, a game slated for release on next-gen consoles and the PC platform. Though Will's description of his duties does little describe this mystery game, he does partially describe his role in the game's creation. Quote, development of high-quality textures, particles for various effects such as smoke, energy, plasma, disintegration, electricity, and explosions using third-party software such as Maya Fluids and Photoshop and proprietary tools. Further, Will claims that he researched and conceptualized the look of explosions and rifle-based weapon effects, as well as organic humanoid weapons, melee, and character effects. So, possibly, maybe we're gonna see another shooter. It wouldn't surprise me being the Xbox platform. So we
Yep.
are the shooter console. So perhaps we will see something from Double Helix here in the near future, next year.
You know what really amazes me is how these people find this stuff.
I know.
It just okay on LinkedIn. The guy that fills the vending machines at Double Helix, posted this. It's how do they track this stuff down? I want to be that kind of consultant where I just get paid to like surf this stuff and find these things.
You just got to find the
But
right job, man.
yeah, professional snooper.
Yep.
So, all
All right.
right, now we can talk about it.
We can talk about it, and I'm actually
All right.
beings that I'm gonna probably throw a little video up here, so as well. But let's
So
talk about it. Oh,
it, in this case, is Max the Curse of the of Brotherhood.
okay. I gotta I
What's
gotta
going
ask.
on? Are you?
I don't know what's up, Bo.
Hey, I'm putting on the thinking cap here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Rob, what do you got?
Oh, nice. Okay. So there's this game called Max the Curse of the Brotherhood. Maybe you've heard about it. It came out on Xbox One this week. Uh, when was it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? It was before Wednesday. Anyway, so the game came out, $15 on the Microsoft Game Store, and it's basically a game that we've been looking forward to for quite some time. At least I have, and then the guys joined the ranks. Basically, the premise of the game, if you're not familiar, is that Max is really annoyed by his little brother, so he goes online and he finds this chant or spell or whatever you want to call it, and then he reads it, and all of a sudden a portal opens in the wall, and this creature just grabs his brother. So Max is going to go save his brother and give him his glasses. So yeah, that's it. Okay, we're done talking about Max, right?
I don't think so. I think Bo's got some things to
Let's move
say.
on
I
to the
know
next
I've got
story.
some things to say.
A couple, two, three. All right, so yeah, why don't you guys start?
Go ahead, Bo. I'll let you start. You got the thinking cap on.
Oh, that's
Uh,
right.
I fell in love with it as soon as we saw it at the Xbox One tour, and it's all we could talk about. I mean, that was the game of the year for us, despite never even hearing of the game really before. And it, as much as it doesn't disappoint, it frustrates the heck out of me. It is not a kids game. You have to draw everything perfectly for the connections to work. I love solving the puzzles and figuring out how to get from A to B. The problem is when you know how to do it and still can't do it, it's frustrating. And I'm stuck on I think it's part 3, the sliding escape or something.
Oh,
And it is
Yep.
so frustrating. I can get halfway through it and just not get these little rock towers drawn in time. And I'm not a fan of the QuickTime events. That and not being able to. I don't mind that it's linear and it is a side-scrolling platformer, but I do not like not being able to free roam the camera and look up high or down low.
Oh yeah.
And so you're running full bore to the edge of the screen, and all of a sudden you have to stop so you don't fall off a cliff or something that you didn't see until you got right there, and that gets a little frustrating.
Yep. I think with
Yep.
me, it's I love the game. I really do. I really do love the game. But I also have been so furious at this game at the same time. That part where you're on the slide, I posted a video of me finally making it through, and I felt like I must have done it 50 times over trying just to get. And you had to. I like the puzzles and trying to figure it out, but what I don't like is when you're being chased, or it's like now all of a sudden it's a timed thing. Because what I've noticed is when you go to pull your right trigger to pull up the marker, there's like a delay. It is not instantly there. And then you have to like move the marker over to where you need it. And by the time you do that, you're usually dead or it's too late. It's like you have to get it perfect. So this game is basically you're going to be doing stuff over and over and over until you get lucky. And that's what happened on the slide. I knew exactly what I needed to do, and I kept drawing that little vine out as he's jumping, and then it slows down, which I think that game mechanic's really cool, where all of a sudden, like, you're leaping off this thing and everything slows down. I think it's really cool, and I love some of the ideas they have in this game. And doing that, but when you draw that vine and then he doesn't grab it for whatever reason, he just flies past it. I had that happen many times. Or you draw it and you don't get it to him before the slowness speeds back up. The slow timer runs out. Those types of things are just really annoying, and that's where I think the frustration with this game comes in. And it's I don't know what else to say about it. Is I'm now at like level 5-1 and I'm stuck because you're in it's a time thing where you got that big monster chasing you, and I can't get to do. It's like you gotta jump and swing, and you gotta use different powers to make things happen, and then you can't even find everything that you're supposed to do before you're dead. I mean, it's like some of these things are kind of hidden, so you need the time to look around, and they don't give you that on every section. Now, some areas, obviously, you do get that opportunity, but you don't all the time. And that's where I get frustrated is I love it until that monster's chasing me, until those quick times, or those quick, fast sequences, like the slide that you're on. That to me completely kills this game for me and takes all the fun right out of it. I've had parts that you weren't having that. You were just, okay, how do I get from here to here? You can see like, okay, I got this little branch, and I got this. In fact, there was one part where I walk in on this cave, right? I'm like at the top, and there's this little area, so you walk, and then it drops way off, and you drop to your death. there's like a vine at the or a tree branch that you draw at the top. And then there's like this other thing way underneath, and I can draw that. And it's a vine, and I'm like, and I got to get over to the right somehow. And I'm like, well, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, I sat there for a long time trying to figure out what I needed to do before, so then I'm like, okay, well, I draw the branch, I cut it, I move it to the edge. I notice that it'll hang. If I draw it a certain way, I can get it to hang on the edge. Then I can connect the vine to it because now it reaches. And then I'm like, okay, so then I was trying to push the thing off thinking I'm going to push, it's going to come over and then swing back, but it never did that. It hits the wall and stays there. So I'm like, well, what good is that? Finally, it dawns on me to hang the log, attach the vine, then cut the vine from the originating point. So now it's hanging straight down. Then you can kind of, and I didn't know I could climb down this log, but you can climb down the log onto the vine, and then you got to swing over before the swinging motion moves the log, so eventually it's going to fall off. But it was like, that was really rewarding when I finally figured it out. I'm like, this is cool. I felt accomplishment. And then you get onto this thing where this big monster's chasing you, and you're just like, what do I do? What do I do? And you don't have the time, and I don't know. Oh, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. The marker's cool, but it does that game. That mechanic is not fast enough. You can't get it up on the screen quick enough for those particular events. And that's the frustrating part of this game, I think. So it's really kind of like it's a real love-hate. I love the game, but I hate those parts, and that's where I'm stuck right now. This thing is chasing me, and I can't get any further, and I've taken a few days off of it. The other issue I know Rob ran into, and I also ran into it as well, is if you step away for a few minutes, set the controller down and step away, and your power turns off on your controller, and you come back and turn your controller back on, and you get the message saying your Xbox controller is disconnected, you turn it on, that message doesn't go away. For some reason, the game does not recognize when you turn your controller back on. And what I've had to do several times, and I know Rob had to do it and it worked for him, was you basically have to launch, because it's a digital game, you can't quit the game. So when you hit your Xbox button and go to your home page, that game still runs in the background. If you have a disc-based title, you can go down to the bottom right corner and hit your menu button, and you can quit the disc-based game. It'll actually kill it running in that VM in the background. When it's digital, you don't have that option. So we both had to run like Peggle 2 or something to launch another game, and then then once that was up at its title screen, then relaunch Max back to the title screen and play it, from where it left off.
That has been fixed, by the way.
Oh,
they must have rolled out a update or something. But as of yesterday, I think it was, that was no longer the case.
Okay.
So now when it pops up, when you bring your controller back, it does go away.
Alrighty. Well, that's good news. I'm glad they fixed that. So,
yeah.
But the one good thing about this game is that the save points are fantastic. You will die a lot in this game. In fact, I think there's an achievement for doing 5 sections with it not or not dying. There's no way I'm going to be able to do that. It's just, there's an achievement I'm not going to get. I do know that Democulus 1K'd the game.
Oh, yeah.
And congrats out to him, man. I was hoping that this was going to probably be one that I could do, and I don't know. And my concern now is I haven't found all the secret areas, and if I'm going to have to do some of these hard sections over again, I probably won't even go after all those. I don't know what I'm going to do, but at least the save, when you do die, you usually start right where you left off, so that's been very good. That helps with the frustration, I think. But on these slides, like the part that Bo's on, you end up going all the way back, and you got to start the whole run again. And then the couple times you have to watch the little cutscene intro of the thing going rah and coming after you, and it's like, really? Do I really need to see that? Can't you just start me right at the beginning of the level? So there's this game, and I know someone in our Facebook group said that they almost lost their voice yelling at the TV because of this game. So it's frustrating, but at the same time, it looks so good. The levels are very good. It's a beautiful game. Everybody doesn't need to experience it, but just know going into it that there is going to be some frustration ahead for you.
See, that's why those Amazon achievements mean so much to me.
I got 5 achievements today. Oh, what'd you play? Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I watched Justified for 20 hours.
But you're right. The QuickTime, it's 10, 15 seconds of load, probably about 8 to 10 seconds of running, 1 second of you figuring out what you need to do and dying, and then repeating the whole process over again.
Yeah.
And after about 8, 10 times doing that in a row, you just have to shut it down.
Yeah. I'm surprised I survived that one on the slide. I really feel I wish I knew how many times I made that attempt, because it might have been more than 50. I'm saying 50, and I'm trying to be pretty accurate. I mean, I think that's a pretty good guess, because I just sat here forever. It just felt like forever doing it over and over and over, and it was so ridiculous that I was starting to laugh because I was getting, it was almost just so stupid hard. It was just like, come on, and but now where I'm at, I don't know if I'm going to make it past where I'm at, because I know what I need to do. I can't get the marker to appear fast enough. So how do you get past the game mechanics? Obviously it can be done because Democulus completed the game, but I guess he just, must be one of those things. It's just going to be till you get lucky. So
We're going to have to see a screenshot. Make sure you got the 1,000.
yeah, I'm sure he did.
No, I'm sure he did.
But so anyways, and also Rob, just so you know, Bloxta says that the issue of the controller
Yeah, I saw that.
is still happening to him. So he goes back to the dashboard, presses the menu button, and quit, then relaunch Max. When I've gone to the dashboard, I don't have the option to quit. I've not seen the
I don't
option to
either.
quit. Yeah, so I'm not sure why he can quit and we can't. Maybe we're in the wrong spot.
Maybe.
Maybe we need to be highlighted over the main big box, because I always move down to the one that says Max, because that's what I do, like with Dead Rising 3 or Rise. I go to the disc one where the disc is and I hit quit. So maybe try it from the main window, hit the menu button, and then say quit. Maybe that'll let you quit the digital game. So it looks like it's still going to be an issue until they give an update. So we'll see what happens. So anything else, guys? My only other comment I can think of is it's priced perfectly. I think $15 is a great price for it. It's a beautiful looking game. There are a few hiccups that you need to be aware of. It's going to frustrate the crap out of you, but I think it is a game that everybody needs to play. It is fun. I'm about to get the fireball. If I can get through where I'm at, I'm going to get the fireball, which is, I think, the last part of the marker. So I'll have like all the powers, so I can't wait to get that part and see what else I can do with it, but it is fun.
Oh yeah. Now it's my turn.
Okay.
You guys had your say. So I've been looking forward to this game for some time, and I think it was last episode, maybe the episode before, where I said I was really looking forward to something new, something fresh. A lot of the games that we've had so far for Xbox One, they were more the same. I mean, even Rise, as cool as it is, I mean, it's a first-person shooter. I mean, we've had that so many times, and yeah, it's got the different take on it, but it's still more of the same. And same thing with Ghosts. It's just anyway, Forza, all those, they're more of the same. So I wanted something different, something that we haven't seen before. And this game really, really hit that sweet spot for me, where the graphics on it are fantastic. I mean, they are just amazing. I love the visuals. You know, you look at the textures of the rocks and everything, and it looks not super realistic, but it looks really good, and it looks better than stuff that we're used to in the past. Then I love how you'll be like, like you guys were talking about, like the running sequences. You have like a little sequence, like really early on in the game, where you're, I think, going from like the old west looking area into like the next section, and you kind of go out into this deserty area, and the camera like really pulls back, and then Max is itty bitty and he's running and he's running, and you see him like crossing this great big open area, and then as soon as you get over into the next area, it like zooms back in. So I mean, this is just stuff that we haven't seen before, and it looks really awesome. So in turn, on a scale of 1 to 10, in terms of like the graphics, these guys get an easy like 12, 13, 14, 15. They've done just such a phenomenal job with the game. Uh, yeah, some of the puzzles in the game, because it's a platformer, and it's a puzzle, well, puzzle, whatever. It's a platformer with puzzles. Let me just put it that way. So that's the type of game that this is. And some of these puzzles that they present you with, they are freaking clever. I look at their, I solve these things and I'm like, who thought of this thing? It's just, these guys like knew the capabilities of what you could do with all these different things. Like there was one where I drew a branch and I cut off the branch and it fell down in one of those like rising tower spots, and then I used that to push the branch up higher so I could jump on it and walk across the branch and where I needed to be. It's, that was a simple one, but it just, these guys, like, I can't imagine like thinking up these puzzles. It's like, well, we'll use a branch in this way, and if you angle it at 45 degrees and do this, and then attach a vine to it, and it just, it's really clever. And I agree with what Mark was saying. Sometimes when you complete these things, you're like, oh yeah, I'm smart. I'm really smart. And it's like, oh yeah, all you did was you completed a puzzle on a game. Yeah, you're real smart. But anyway,
I said the other day, I was in a party with Democulus when we were playing this.
Yeah.
And I did, dude. I completed something. I'm just like, I'm the smartest man alive. I am so awesome. 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I suck, because
Yeah.
I couldn't even figure something else out. But you do, you complete something, you finally figure it out, and you're just like, yeah, I figured it out. You feel so like you've achieved something. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
amazing.
And this is a game that, like I said, it'll be a different experience for different people. I think just based on like your thought processes, some people might need to play around with some of the puzzles a little bit longer than others. Other people will just stumble into the correct answer, just on accident, and so forth. But it shouldn't be something that detracts you from the game, because this is different. This will cause you to kind of think about what you're doing, because I really don't think that a lot of the games for the Xbox 360 or even the one that we've seen in some time, they don't require that of people. It used to be back in the day that you buy a game, you would have to read like a 30-40 page instruction manual. At least that's what I did back in the day. You would read this manual and you're like, okay, I'm going to learn how to play this game. Nowadays, there is no thought. You just pick up the game and you start playing it right away. And I think people really aren't used to like really thinking about the situations. It's, well, I guess you have the term Twitch games for a reason, where you're just basically like impulsively going here, 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 and here. I mean, this game requires some thought, and it really reminded me a little bit of the experience that I had playing Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, where that was the game that came. Was it part of Summer of Arcade? I think.
Yeah.
This summer,
Yep.
and that's when it came out too, isn't it? I think it was
Yeah.
released
This
this year.
last summer. Yep.
Yeah. So it was out, I think, mid to late summer, and it was a similar type of experience where you had a game that actually caused you to think, and some of the answers weren't obviously apparent because in that game you had to go through and you had to work. You had two brothers that you were moving across the screen simultaneously. Each one moved with a separate thumbstick on the controller, and you had some kind of puzzles. Well, I guess what I'm saying here is that if you like Max, you might want to revisit that game because they're both excellent games. But
Yeah, but that
going,
that game you can play and complete and not win a single achievement.
yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. But you
That doesn't
still
sound
had
like fun.
but you still had a fantastic time the entire time.
I don't know.
So I really like Max. I think one thing to playing the game that is very, very important is uh, like Bo said, just walk away from the game. When you get to the point of where you've got the frustration level pretty high, and I don't think it's necessarily part of the game. It's just, or actually, let me rephrase that. I don't think it's the game's fault that it has like a high frustration level. I think it's so different. It's not something that we're used to. We're not really used to just sitting there and thinking about something or even contemplating for a couple of seconds what our next move is going to go. We're just doing. And when you get that frustration level, just walk away for a while. Go.
I do think they introduce some of that though themselves because, like I said, when you go to hit that marker and pull it up, and you know what you need to
Yeah.
do, and it doesn't pop right away. There is a time delay there, and I think that causes me more grief than anything because it's like, okay, I'm ready. I know what's coming. I've been dead 12 times. It's like I'm trying to figure out, can I hold my right trigger to make the marker appear quicker or something? Because I think it doesn't. I've seen it's like I'll hit it. It's not like it's instantly on the screen. It's almost like it's got to, he's got to pick it up and he's got to throw it and it's got to materialize. That you can't have that when you're being chased and you're in a
Right.
timed event type of thing. I think that's what hurts it. When you're out of those timed events, then it all works great. And the puzzles, I've been frustrated because I'm like, man, I can't figure this out. But I'm not. I'm only being hindered because it's a challenging puzzle, not because there's somebody breathing down my neck and I'm going to die in 2 seconds. That's so. I think
Hmm.
that's the big difference. Is it works great when you're not in the timed event. When you got that time-based
Okay.
thing, it's all blown out of the water. And I think that's where they do break it for you. But you know, you just got to stick with
Yeah.
it, walk away, come back, and know you got to keep doing it until you get that one lucky. You get it. You just happen to luck out and get the timing. You know.
See, I don't know if it's really luck. I think you just do it properly.
Now, how far are you in the game, though?
I am.
Do
I
you know what
think
we're?
two something.
Okay, so you've only gone through one of those, and that was the original one, like the very first one. That thing's
What are you
chasing
talking
you.
about?
Where that big rock monster, the one that takes your brother.
Oh, there's a couple of times he was chasing me.
Okay, you wait. You get up to the slide where Bo's at, or you get up to where I'm at, and let's see if you still feel the same way. It gets harder in that type of thing where you can't get that marker to pop on the screen fast enough.
Hmm.
Definitely hinders you in getting it completed.
No, I know absolutely what you're saying because I know that there was one part where you had to run through this whole area and you were being chased and you had to go onto one of those little level elevator platform riser guys
Hmm.
and you had to trigger that as fast as possible.
Right.
And it took a couple tries. I think at least in my case, the thing that kind of held me back was a little bit of clumsiness with the marker,
Hmm.
just because you're too into running and the excitement. You're like, oh, I'm going to get away, and just getting everything to line up properly. And once you get used to that, I don't think it'd be too bad. Now, I had never really paid attention. I know he holds that marker in this like little thing that's attached to his backpack.
Uh-huh.
Is that the possible reason for a delay? I mean, when you pull the trigger, does he actually reach in there and pull it out?
Yeah, he throws it. It's like he throws it out. You see the thing like zip out on the screen, and then your big marker appears.
Right. Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
think, I really think, you've got to get further in the game to understand what we're talking about.
No,
Because
I
I mean,
absolutely know what you're talking about.
I breezed through the whole first part. When I
Yep.
got to that slide, I think that was probably the really first part of the game I really struggled with. And then I have had through 3 and 4 and now in 5 had areas that are just like, oh my goodness, this is just, they don't want me to proceed. I want to play the game. I want to get back in and play it again. So I need to see if I can get past the part I'm stuck on. But
Yeah.
it is the stuff can't draw on the screen quick enough. I cannot get that marker to appear on the screen fast enough. So again, it's just going to be me keep over and over and over. Eventually I'll get it, you know. But I do think that's kind of a hampering. I don't think that should be a part of a puzzler. But maybe it is. Maybe that is part of it. That's part of the quote fun.
Yeah.
What
So
what I think I'm experiencing is when it's not a quick time event, you're just doing the regular game. He'll throw the marker out kind of like a boomerang. But when you're running, what's happening to me is I'm running, and as soon as I go to pull that marker out, it comes out where I'm standing, and then I have to move it with the joystick to the right side of the screen to get to where it's supposed to be for me to start drawing, and that's where I'm getting killed.
yeah.
So it's he's not throwing the boomerang action in the quick time events, or at least on this part 3 sliding escape thing that I'm doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. I guess he doesn't on those fast ones, but there's still. It's like for me, I still see it like it's delayed. It's like I'll hit it and it doesn't. It's like I want it like bam right there, and it's not. And like you said too, it's like it's never where you need it to be. So then you got to move it, and it does become a bit of a challenge. So, but
I
I'm
almost
excited to see the rest of the game. I feel like man, I haven't played it since it came out. I played all the way up to that level that day and haven't been able to get past it since. I need to try again tonight, and maybe I can. Maybe I'll get through that first time because I've walked away from it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But so
You know,
what's everybody's
I
final?
definitely,
Go ahead, Rob.
I definitely wanted to say just walk away from the game if you need to. Do something else, give it a day or something like that, and continue because it really reminds me of people at work where I know some guys are awesome technical guys. As soon as they're under stress, they shut down and then they can't function. I think that might happen with this game as well. You know, you're just beating your head against a wall for no reason
Yeah.
with the frustration level and just walk away, you know, give it a little bit of time, relax, play something else or whatever, then come back to it fresh and then you'll do better. In the video that you were showing on there, I mean, if you watch some of the marker action, I'm sure that's played by a developer that has probably spent days playing the game. Like I can't even say hours. I'm sure it's days and weeks. And if you look in there, just some of like the marker action, I mean, it's not smooth. I mean, there's a couple of spots where it overshoots and then it comes back, and I think it's just something that you got to get used to. And another thing that I noticed in at least what I thought was a QuickTime series event, or just some kind of video clip, was early on. I think it was somewhere like in mid chapter 1, where you were being chased by that creature that grabbed the brother out of the room, and you had to jump across some platforms. Initially, I just sat there watching, and then I died, and then I played it again, and I noticed that when I moved the controller, Max actually ran. So what I thought was a video, I actually had some control in. So when you see the videos, don't assume that you're just sitting there watching it. I think that in some of those, if you actually use your controller, you can actually make it happen a little bit quicker. And what I found was that when I ran in the direction that Max was running, using the controller, I actually got further into the screen that time. and I was easily able to complete the task in that room. Whereas when I just kind of sat there and watched, it was really close. It was, I mean, almost to the point of where you could not properly finish it. So yeah, I really enjoy Max. I love the puzzles in there. You know, we'll see what happens when I get into the later levels, and you know, maybe we'll talk about it next show.
We'll see if you still love it.
I'm sure I will.
Don't get me wrong. I think
No,
it's a
no, no.
fantastic game. I do love it. Like I said, I think everyone needs to buy it. I think it's worthy of a buying. It's a beautiful game. It's a fun game. It is something different. It just everybody needs to know there is going to frustration will come with this game. Be prepared for it.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can handle it and you can be prepared to die a bazillion times, you know, then by all means get this game. I want to finish it, and I will plan to go back and probably play it again. It's, you know, it's very fun. So
Oh
overall, it
yeah.
is more fun than frustrating, but just
Yeah.
be prepared for those moments.
And it is by no means a kiddie game.
No.
It is challenging, and I mean mentally challenging as well as, you know, testing your reflexes, because there's some of those little like watcher eyeballs where I just look at them like, how do you get there?
I've had some I couldn't get to.
You know?
I don't know how to get to them. I did have one where I figured out I had to make a branch, a tree branch, and make it like a certain shape, and then cut it and move it so that I
Yeah.
could get up on the branch and then get to where yeah, it's, you know. And then of course I was like,
I
man, I
think I
bet I
know
could
which
have
one
done
you're
that
talking
earlier.
about.
So I've got some I need to go back and find, but so
Yeah, because
excellent game, excellent
yeah,
game.
there was one. I think it's the same one you were talking about, where I made a branch, kind of roughly in the shape of like a square, and I cut it, and I had to move it on top of one of those little elevator guys, and then I stood on it while it like teeter tottered back and forth, moved it up, and then I could jump to get the
Yeah.
eyeball dude.
And there's
But
one where I had to make a tree branch like in a circle so that I could cut it and roll, get it to roll. And I'm just like things like that. Just yeah, I mean the way they've designed it, the things they come up with, the way to make you think it's not what you would normally think. It's really neat. I've really loved as I played through. I'm just like that is so awesome what they made you, you know, what you had to do to get past it. So um, yeah, it's cool. We
and
need to
it's
probably
15 bucks.
we need
That is
to
a deal.
yeah, it's
Uh-oh.
so but we need to move on. We've been on Max for a long time, and I want to make sure we're hit under 2 hours, and we're fast approaching. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna alter here. So if everybody's got this next story up, we're gonna talk about the best of 2014 because you know this is the end of 2013. Next week, Rob and I will probably BJ Swick 33 is going to join us next week, and we'll probably do our end of the year game. You know, what was the game of the year type of stuff. We'll probably discuss our favorites. But what I'm more interested in really is what's coming out in 2014. So we're going to talk about. There's quite a list of stuff coming here. This is all off the Xbox Wire page, and we're going to talk about all of these and share a little bit of information on each one. So get you guys excited about what's still to come in 2014. So the first one is, let me switch my screen. It's called D4, Dark Dreams Don't Die. This is from Microsoft Studios. This is from the creator of Deadly Premonition, Hidetaka Swery 65, Shihiro, along with Access Games, presents D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die. It's an interactive and episodic mystery series that fully utilizes Kinect with seated gameplay and voice recognition. Players assume the role of a detective with the curious ability to drive back in time as he tries to solve his wife's murder and prevent it from occurring. And we saw this one at E3. They showed this. It was like that cel-shaded comic book looking
Yeah.
game. So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, I remember they made a big deal out of the dude that was doing this with a Swery 65.
Yeah. So
And when you look at the image that we're looking at right now, it really reminds me of like one of those weird like Japanese like relationship games.
I wouldn't know
It's
about
like,
those.
oh, come on now. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Nope.
Come on, you're in high school. You're trying to get a girlfriend.
Okie dokie. How about the next one,
Yeah.
Rob?
All right. Okay, Tom Clancy's The Division. This is one that we've talked about a little bit on the show in the past. It looks amazing, and The Division takes place in New York 3 weeks after a lethal virus was released on Black Friday, and it swept through the city. One by one, basic services have failed. Society has collapsed into chaos. The president invokes Presidential Directive 51, and The Division, a top secret unit of the self-supporting tactical agents, is activated. When the lights go out, their mission begins, where you discover a persistent online open world New York where exploration, combat, and RPG player progression is essential. So this one should be pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a new spin on things. So that was The Division.
Cool.
The next game is Dragon Age Inquisition by our favorites, EA.
Yay!
Explore a vast fantasy world at the brink of catastrophe in Dragon Age Inquisition, a next-generation action RPG where your choices shape and drive the experience. In this upcoming video game from BioWare, makers of Mass Effect 3 and Dragon Age Origins, you'll make your mark in an expansive, story-driven world filled with complex characters, challenging combat, and difficult decisions. A cataclysmic event has plunged the land of Thedas into turmoil. Dragons now darken the sky, casting a shadow of terror over a once peaceful kingdom. Mages have broken out into an all-out war against the oppressive Templars. Nations rise against one another. It falls to you to restore order as you lead the Inquisition and hunt down the agents of chaos. Your choices will forever change the Dragon Age.
Cool. I think Dragon Age fans will be happy to have a new game in that series.
Yes.
This one is one I'm looking forward to, Dying Light by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. This is a first-person action survival horror game set in vast and dangerous open world. During the day, players traverse an expansive urban environment overrun by a vicious outbreak, scavenging the world for supplies and crafting weapons to defend against the growing infected population. At night, the hunter becomes the hunted as the infected become aggressive and more dangerous. Most frightening are the predators, which only appear after sundown. Players must use everything in their power to survive until the morning's first light. This game really looks like, and I think if I recall, it's being done by the same studio that did Dead Island. It reminds me of Dead Island, only with like parkour options. I saw some videos that, like, they were just, you can kind of go anywhere you want, and there's these, you have the ability to climb up buildings and get to roofs and do some parkour movements and stuff. So it looks like Dead Island taken to the next stage. So I think
Mirror's
this is
Edge.
going to be, yeah, kind of, yeah. Maybe not as much Mirror's Edge,
Yeah.
but with some of that more of maybe more Brink style, which had a little parkour, but not as much as the Mirror's Edge. But it definitely looks like a great game. So I'm looking forward to this.
And speaking of Dead Island, I saw Riptide on Amazon for $9 today.
Sweet.
Check it out. I mean, that's a heck of a deal right there.
And Riptide's an easy 1,000.
Yeah.
So even I 1K'd it, and it's fun. Absolutely a fun game. I loved it.
Yep. All right, so next one is EA's back at it, and this time with EA Sports UFC. With its first new major sports league partnership in over a decade. This is going to be a next generation of fighting built for the Xbox One by the team that did Fight Night. Wow, that's kind of a blast from the past.
Yeah.
Yes, that was on the original Xbox, wasn't it? Or was it on the 360? One of the launch
Fight Night
titles
was on
early on.
I think it was one of the 360 launch titles, wasn't it?
Okay. I don't remember. It was so long ago. So, powered by EA Sports Ignite technology, EA Sports UFC brings the action, emotion, and intensity inside the octagon to life in ways that were never before possible. How about that? The next generation true player motion not only showcases the diverse, powerful, and fluid attacks of elite mixed martial artists through precision movement, dynamic striking, and strategic submission battles, but it also brings the combatants to life with full body deformation and real time exertion. The simulation of human intelligence takes leaps forward with strategic and adaptive MMA systems and is expressed through the most realistic characters ever created in a sports game. And I do got to say that, I mean, other than like looking at the picture of this dude here, I mean, other than like kind of a weird look on his face, I mean, he looks real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he just got kind of like a blank stare because they can't seem to get like eyes right in games yet. They're getting closer. But yeah, it looks realistic.
Fight Night 2004 did come out on Xbox and PS2, as well as Fight Night Round 2 and Round 3. Round 3 was the 360 game, along with Fight Night Round 4 and Fight Night Champion. So you were correct, sir.
Yeah, so I remember playing that game with like Muhammad Ali. I think was the one I loved playing with.
Yeah.
Out there, he's awesome.
All right.
All right, moving on.
The Elder Scrolls Online Bethesda is the latest chapter of the award-winning franchise, bringing the legendary experience online for the first time. Whether you play with your friends or adventure alone, the game's innovative combat system allows you to focus on action and tactics, not the UI. Use any weapon or armor at any time, customize your abilities to play out the way you want to uncover the mysteries of Tamriel, and seek heroic quests on your own terms. Explore the far reaches of Skyrim, the mysterious lands of Morrowind, the sprawling metropolis of Daggerfall, and beyond. The choices you make from the alliances you join, the battles you fight, will shape your destiny in the world of Tamriel.
So, that's going to be a huge hit.
Bring it all together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like those are like blasts from the past there. Morrowind, Daggerfall. Wow.
Each one massive in its own right. I can imagine.
Oh yeah.
Merged together.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting. All right. So for my next one, this game is the next generation of the best-selling Kinect franchise, Kinect Sports. This is Kinect Sports Rivals. Yeah, I'm doing a little. This game will bring your favorite sport back in reimagined ways and deliver new sports and events made possible only with Xbox One's revolutionary technology. Kinect Sports Rivals puts you in the game like never before, tracks your movements and expressions with incredible accuracy, and offers never-ending competition with your friends and rivals. The all-new Kinect can blah, 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 blah. Just, that's all a bunch of PR stuff. The game is coming out 2014, so you can check out the preseason stuff now. That's available.
Yeah. All right. Next is Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes by Konami. Basically, it's Metal Gear Solid on Xbox One. Fantastic. We're looking at spring 2014 is the first segment of the Metal Gear Solid 5 experience and prologue to the larger second segment, which is Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, which is going to be launching sometime after that. Ground Zeroes gives core fans the opportunity to get a taste of the world-class production's unparalleled visual presentation and gameplay before the release of the main game. It also provides an opportunity for gamers who have never played a Kojima Productions game and veterans alike to gain familiarity with the radical new game design and unparalleled style of presentation. Metal Gear Solid franchise has entertained fans for decades and revolutionized the gaming industry. Kojima Productions once again raises the bar with the Fox engine, offering incredible graphic fidelity and the introduction of open world game design in the Metal Gear Solid universe. This is the experience that the core gamers have been waiting for. Believe it. So,
right.
Yeah. Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain. I remember that image that they leaked. Remember that? Where you really couldn't see what it was. So I guess that was correct.
Yeah, it
Because I
was.
think it was Phantom Pain. Yep.
All right.
And this next one's going to push the Xbox One to its limits.
One block at a time.
Minecraft Xbox One Edition will deliver the Minecraft experience to Xbox One, building off the hugely successful Minecraft Xbox 360 edition. This edition will give players larger maps for bigger adventures, expanded multiplayer features, and feature enhancements powered by the Xbox One platform.
Wow. Hope it can handle it. All right, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, another EA title. Prepare your pea shooters. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare delivers a best-in-class multiplayer shooter experience with the fresh humor of the wildly popular Plants vs. Zombies series. Powered by the Frostbite 3 engine, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare features stunning 3D worlds blooming with vibrant colors and unique landscapes. Players will take on roles of plants and zombies across a mind-blowing world that is full of surprises. The surprise will be if the game actually works when they launch it.
Yeah.
Zing!
I don't think they can blame server crashes this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. All right, next one is Project Spark from Microsoft Studios. We definitely saw this a couple times in the past. I think at E3, maybe the reveal, all that stuff starting to blend together. But anyway, if you're not familiar, Project Spark is the ultimate digital playground for creative gamers of all ages. It's a powerful yet simple way to build and play your own world, stories, and games. You share your creations with a dynamic community and play what the community makes. It brings creation to life and presents endless opportunities for play. It's going to be a free digital download available across a whole bunch of platforms, including Xbox One, 360, and Windows 8.1. Project Spark lets creators carry over in-game progress from one platform to another while providing new ways to interact with Kinect and Xbox Smart Glass Pass. Okay.
Yeah. Not interested.
Yeah.
Sunset Overdrive, Microsoft Studios, and Insomniac breaks the mold of traditional shooter games by delivering an open world that can change every day, influenced and inspired by the game's community of players. Developed exclusively for Xbox One by Insomniac Games, Sunset Overdrive is an always-changing open-world shooter set in the not-so-distant future where a catastrophic event has left your city overrun by mutants. With an arsenal of kick-ass, overpowered weapons and a knack for traversing the city with hyper-agility, it's not the end of days. Your story is just beginning.
All right. And then we got Thief. This is by Square Enix. So Garrett, the master thief, steps out of the shadows into the city. In this treacherous place where the Baron's watch spreads a rising tide of fear and oppression, his skills are the only things he can trust. Even the most cautious citizens and their best guarded possessions are not safe from Garrett's reach.
Okay. Next one is Titanfall from EA again and Respawn Entertainment. Basically just another boring robot game.
Jeez.
Next. No, I'm just kidding. So it's crafted by one of the co-creators of Call of Duty and other key designers behind the Call of Duty franchise. Titanfall delivers a brand new online experience that combines fluid, fast-paced multiplayer action with heroic set-piece moments found in traditional campaign modes. Set in the near future on a distant frontier torn apart by war, Titanfall drops players in the middle of a conflict between the Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation and the militia. The action is rapid and varied, featuring parkour-style wall running, massive double jumps, and the ability to hijack Titans. The freedom to shift back and forth between pilot and Titan allows players to change tactics on the fly, attacking or escaping depending on the situation, and extending the action vertically to new heights. I'd probably say this is probably one of the most anticipated games that's going to be coming out this spring.
You could probably say that.
Yeah. Not by a little, by a lot. Mm-hmm. So that's Titanfall.
All right, Warface by Crytek, going back to the Wayback Machine. Warface Xbox 360 Edition is a global free-to-play online first-person shooter for the Xbox 360 created by Crytek. Powered by the CryEngine, it offers intense online, cooperative, and competitive multiplayer action set in the near future. Players engage in thrilling multiplayer battles on the front line to solve the conflict between the elite Warface and Blackwood forces. Warface Xbox 360 Edition keeps gameplay fresh and exciting by providing new content on a regular basis, including daily cooperative campaign missions and a continual supply of new maps, weaponry, boosts, and more.
That'll be interesting. See how that
Yeah.
pans out. So it'll probably be pretty good. I've seen some shots of this thing, and the game looks pretty good. All right. Watch Dogs by Ubisoft. You get to play as Aiden Pierce, a brilliant hacker whose criminal past led to a violent family tragedy. On the hunt for those who hurt your family, you'll be able to monitor and hack all who surround you by manipulating everything connected to the city's network. In Watch Dogs, this system is called the Central Operating System, and it controls almost every piece of the city's technology and holds key information on all the city's residents. Access omnipresent security cameras, download personal information to locate a target, control traffic lights and public transportation to stop the enemy, and more. This one is one we were hoping to be playing by the end of this year, but it was delayed, so we'll see when we're going to get it in 2014, but hopefully probably in the first part of the year would be my guess.
Yep. So next one is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt from CD Projekt Red. It's a unique combination of non-linear storytelling and open-world exploration, a fantasy RPG focused on player choice, tactical combat, and an immersive environment, spinning the tale of Geralt of Rivia, a professional monster hunter. Witcher 3 aims to attract gamers with a mature and compelling narrative told like no other. With over 100 hours of handcrafted core and side quest gameplay, Witcher 3 redefines the genre, shaping the next generation of RPGs.
This game doesn't look very good at all, though.
And finally, World of Tanks Xbox 360 Edition by Microsoft Studios. As the custom-built Xbox 360 version of the global online multiplayer phenomenon dedicated to tank warfare in the mid-20th century, commands some of the history's most powerful tanks and experience intense combat. The excitement of battle is enhanced by working together with your tank platoon to win the fight, which puts you in the driver's seat of some of the world's most powerful armored vehicles. Engage in global online tank combat where team-based tactics and coordination are the keys to victory.
So there you go, guys. That wraps up some big titles coming out in 2014 for both 360 and Xbox One. And I think 2014 is definitely going to be a really great year for games. We've got some cool stuff to play, and I can't wait to get to it. So with
Agreed.
that, did you guys have any further comments or stories or anything you guys wanted to cover before we jump into our community?
Other than I'm getting nervous on time.
I've been trying to push you, Rob.
Let's go!
You talked about Max for 2 hours.
Yeah, and it was
Bo,
wonderful.
anything else from you?
Just 2014 is going to be a great year, and I'm going to be poor by the end of it.
Yeah, you and me both. All right, so if you want to join our community, we are on Facebook. Just look for This Xbox Life. Email at us, contact at thisxboxlife.com, and also follow us on Twitter. We got one email in this week, and this was from TanCN. He says, it's that time of year again when all gaming podcasts known to man sit down and discuss the year's most noteworthy games. I have about 7 different gaming podcasts that I listen to on a weekly basis, and this week I have had something brought to my attention. Apparently, a whole lot of people think people are declaring Tomb Raider to be one of the best games of this year. Yes, Mark, I know you two think very highly of this game, and I was just wondering if you could tell me in a very detailed manner why you love this game so much and what sets it apart from others. I never got around to playing it on the 360 and was considering picking up on the Xbox One, but for some reason I just can't seem to grasp what all the hype is about. So if you would please do your best to convince me this game is worth all the praise it has received. Thanks. Keep up the good work, guys. Bo, did you play Tomb Raider on 360?
I did, yes.
What did you think of the game?
Liked it a lot. I was a fan of the early Tomb Raider games, so the reboot was great.
So what particularly did you like about it? Why do you think it was so great?
It had some of the puzzle on how to get from A to B type stuff, but it just the graphics, the fluid movement, the more of the realism, and even the shock value. there was a cutscene in it where she fell in the water, and if you didn't steer her in the right direction, she ended up getting impaled on branches, which was shocking. But it was good. It was interesting seeing how she became the character that we started out with in the early 90s.
Yeah, I'm not. I never played Tomb Raider until this last one, so I wasn't really familiar. I mean, I knew of the game, I just had never played it before.
Well, I mean, just as far as she was, shooting and killing, and I mean, just the typical game character, but this kind of showed how she was the student that through the situation that she was put in, she adapted to survive, and it just showed how she was able to to kill without remorse, and it showed that you could see the struggle in the character as far as when she had to make those decisions, and that was unique. It's the first time I've seen that in a video game.
Rob, did you play this one?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what did you think? Was it something you really enjoyed?
So as far as the Tomb Raider series goes, I was in on the first release way back when. I mean, I think it was back on the PS1 that I played it, and it was phenomenal. I loved the game. The games after that, each release, I really didn't care for them. I liked the series less and less, and this particular game took the elements of the first game that made the first game fun, and it added this just intense cinematic experience on top of it, where you play the game and there's just times where, I mean, it's almost like a movie. I mean, it is just epic. And there's one part in the game where you're climbing up this, I don't know, I forget what it was. It's like something like in Thailand or something, where you get like those buildings on the side of the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you're climbing up this thing, and it's like this is just like from one of those like action movies, and it is so well done that like it all comes together so perfectly, and just what they were able to do, even with the graphics, even on the 360, is impressive. Where, as she goes, further through the level, she gets like dirty. You get like smudges on the skin, and then she falls in the water, and they're like gone. I mean, just attention to detail, and it's just a lot of fun, and you're really like concerned for her, and it's so well done. That's why I think the game is just so high on everybody's list. It's like you play the game, you're like, I understand, I know why.
Yeah. So I think my thoughts are this was my game of the year until Splinter Cell Blacklist came out. And that Splinter Cell Blacklist became my number one favorite game of the year. Tomb Raider is still solidly number two. Nothing else surpassed it. This was a fantastic game. What I liked about it was it's like a shooter, but it's also like an adventure game. It reminds me of Uncharted series. I felt like I was playing like an Uncharted game on my Xbox.
Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
what it reminded me of. So, Tansy, and if you've played Uncharted, this is like about the best you can get, in my opinion, on the Xbox, as close you can to an Uncharted game. I love the cinematics. I love the graphics. They look great. I loved the puzzling parts when you were in the tombs. I liked trying to find the different stuff that there was the collectible aspect, but it was made a little bit easier by I don't remember what it was, some kind of vision mode that you could go into, and I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
Like a sense or something. I can't remember how it worked within the game, but I loved the story. The story was fantastic. How you saw this character grow, how, like Bo said, how they struggled with killing and by the end of it, it's like it's a pure survival thing, and it's like because of her lineage, it's like all this stuff kicks in that's kind of like in their blood. You know, I can't remember Laura, or because she's a Croft, right? You know,
Yep.
I think you hear that. Well, you're a Croft. Well, this is like her first experience into this world. So yeah, she's kind of forced down a path she probably never expected, and you get to see her become the quote Tomb Raider, if you will. So it's kind of neat to see that character develop from the start. The game was absolutely done. I don't recall it. I mean, this game came out the beginning of the year. I'm sure there was something that was glitchy about it, or maybe, but I can't remember anything that I had a complaint about.
Nope.
I can't, and I'll have to go back and listen to like one of the shows where we talked about it at the beginning of the year. But I'm sure there was something. But I think this is one of those games. It's like I had to really look really hard for something to ding it on, because the game was that fantastic. It just, you know, I think my only complaint was that all their DLC was multiplayer. The multiplayer was horrible. This is a campaign single player experience. You buy the game for the campaign only, and it delivered in every aspect. So I would recommend buying the Xbox One edition. I'm actually considering buying this game again on the Xbox One and playing it again. That's how good I think this game is. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you like adventure games. You like the Indiana. I mean, it's like Indiana Jones, Uncharted. You know, it just kind of has that adventure excitement in it. It's just a fantastic game. So hopefully now you've got 3 opinions. All of us absolutely love the game, and hopefully that'll help you with your decision. So let us know if you do end up getting it and playing it. Be sure to write back and let us know what you think. I'd really like to hear from you. So with that, we're going to wrap this up because I think we went over 2 hours, but we got one game coming out this week, and that's Halo Spartan Assault on Xbox One. So that comes out on Christmas Eve. Again, if you will remember to support our community by buying everything that you can from Amazon.com, using our affiliate link, we'd really appreciate that. And we're hoping 2014 we should be having some giveaways, some gift cards and stuff, so you can guys get some free stuff from Amazon. So we're looking forward to that. With that, I'm out of here myself. Did you guys have any last comments?
Nope. Just everybody have a happy holiday
All right,
coming up. And
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Well, I guess we'll see you guys next week.
That's right. Where we'll tell you Happy New Year.
All right. Well, I am Mark. If you listen to us on iTunes, please rate us 5 stars. I am Mark, aka Wingman709. I'm taking off.
I'm Rob, also known as Presar. Thanks for listening, everybody. Merry Christmas and all, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Vengeful Loki, and Merry Christmas, everyone.